Audio Jungle.
Anambra North Senatorial District. Actually, my big brother said it all, but I need to add a few things. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, this is one of our best. Incidentally, we were never in the same party together. She was of Abga, I was never of Abga. But this hollow chamber should transcend above party affiliations. I must commend and thank Mr. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu for recognizing this woman for this appointment, irrespective of party affiliation. It's not because of only the fact that she was with our late sage, our undisputable leader, when he was alive, took care of him when he was alive. It's because this woman is an epitome of excellence. She's very cerebral, she's very articulate, very eloquent, very, anything you can think of. Ebullient lawmaker, ebullient lawyer, and arbitrator for that matter. A product of University of Nigeria, a great lioness, a woman who is a bridge builder. I must say that my people, good people of Anambra North, are commending Mr. President once more. And also we are appealing the Senate of Federal Republic of Nigeria not to waste so much time. She is prepared for questions to answer. She has been a special assistant to Mr. President. We have read the CV. A bridge builder that doesn't know about tribe, that doesn't know party A, party B. I feel strongly that even as an ambassador, when she was an ambassador, she was screened on 11th of May 2012 in absence. That was when she was mourning the husband. She was not even there at the committee stage. But because of her resume and her record, the then Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs screened her, and the Senate of Federal Republic unanimously approved. I'm appealing to our distinguished colleagues, led by our great in-law. Let them not find any hesitation to clear this woman, our jewel, our ivory. Eyom, Bianca, Ono, I so submit. Thank you, sir. Ojukwu.
Well, if I do not hear from the only Abga senator in this chamber, because I know she's the mother of Abga, distinguished Senator Abaribe.
Both.
Oh, both Patana and Matana. Okay.
Mr. President, the beautiful nominee standing before us.
I said restrict
Bianca.
yourself
It is in the
to the
CV.
resume. Forget
Mr.
this.
President.
Forget this word beautiful. I said restrict yourself.
It's in the CV, sir.
Restrict yourself. She didn't put in the CV that she's beautiful.
Yeah,
Is that what she put? Where?
It's in the CV.
Where? The CV says beautiful Bianca.
It's in the CV. Mr. President, Mr. President, Bianca, Olivia, Odinaka Ojukwu, Ojukwu is my sister from Ngwo, the local government of Enugu State. Mr. President, a golden fish have no hiding place. And that is why the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria went and brought this woman who is very passionate about our country, who is very committed to see the growth of this nation, who will give all that is within her reach to make sure that this country gets to a greater height. Mr. President, you see, when Mr. President announced the nominees and put them in ministries where they are going to serve, it makes everything easier for us. Because she is posted to where she has absolute confidence and competence, where she is going to make a huge impact to this country. She's a lawyer and also a professional in diplomacy.
The Sergeant at Arms, give her a seat.
Mr. President, who else?
Give her a
actually-
seat. Give her a seat. Sit down and jot down. Sit down, sit down. Sit
I
down.
can stand, sir.
No, we don't want any disaster here.
No, I will stand, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. So if you are sure,
Yes, sir.
are you sure?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah. Mr. President, who else can serve in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, if not somebody with this qualification? We call her Adeje Jemba. She's from my town, married to Neu, and that's why I also went to Neu to marry my own wife back as a favor. We don't need to say more than what my brothers from Anambra State have said, because our screening is to confirm the competence of the nominees. And everybody in this hallowed chamber agrees that Bianca is competent and agrees that the portfolio assigned to her is where she has already excelled and performed creditably. What we are hoping is that as soon as she takes over her office, changes will come, positive changes. So, Mr. President, we thank the President once more for giving us opportunity. We had a Minister of Foreign Affairs from my town before, in the name of Dubem Onya. She is going to be the second Minister of Foreign Affairs from our community. And we always know how to perform. Mr. President, we just wish her the best. Remember, she is supposed to be a member of this Senate. If not that, she ran for Senate before. If not for the way it went, she's supposed to be sitting here in this hallowed chamber, screening other nominees. It means that she has a qualification and competence. She understands what we do here. So as a colleague that I see her as, because she contested, I think it is the right thing. Having noted her competence and qualifications, we will have to tell her, with your kind permission, Mr. President, that Bianca should actually bow and go and do her work. Thank you, Mr. President.
If I do not hear from the only Abga senator in this chamber, because I know she's the mother of Abga, distinguished Senator Abaribe.
My name is Enyinnaya Abaribe. I represent Abia South, and my party is the All Progressive Grand Alliance, of which she is our own mother. So I will make 2 points, Mr. President. 2 very key points that we probably are not noticing in the euphoria of everything that is happening today. First, while I adopt all the sentiments that have been said earlier by the Anambra senators and the one from Enugu State, I will say that one, maybe because of her, Mr. President, by bringing an APGA person to be a minister, has already started with what we call a unity government and looking for national integration. We can only ask that Mr. President goes much further, much, much further. But we commend him for this. Second, another commendation we will make for the president, which most people have also forgotten. We have on the floor of this Senate always sought that a president sending nominees to the floor must attach it with the portfolios. Today, we are seeing that the president has started by letting us know in the portfolios of those that will go to the different areas. And that is commendable. And so I think that this, having been started, should be sustained by all presidents that will come and the president in his further changes, because I know that there are going to be more changes, to ensure yes, what I mean is that maybe more Abga people should come to help this government. I thank you, Mr. President. I commend Mrs. Bianca Ojukwu, and I urge my colleagues, seeing these two elements that have accompanied all the nominations that have come today, that we allow Bianca to bow and go. I so submit.
Well, distinguished colleagues, after this, so, and I saw him moving from seat to seat, asking people why. So I decided that he should say something, but I want to thank you for commending President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for going across party lines to seek for the best of the best to save our country. And most especially, making the job of screening and confirmation easy, and even easier by attaching portfolios to the would-be ministers. Unprecedented. Now you can ask questions directly, relating directly to the portfolio of the minister. And like you said, no other president has ever done it. And no other person would have done it except President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, having been a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. His wife has been a senator, and he has known the yearnings of the Senate. So we commend him seriously for attaching portfolios to these nominees. And we pray that future presidents will follow suit, so it will be easy for the Senate to do its work. My dear sister, I haven't heard any negative comment from the floor, but I'd like to ask you a question. You've had an experience as an ambassador. Very recently, I sent a delegation to Chad, and they came back and said that the Nigerian embassy in Chad, the building is in very deplorable condition. And I was in Ghana last week, and the same complaint. They have a land that they would like to build their embassy structure on, and many other places, Kenya, everywhere. People are complaining that the structures hosting the embassies are in terrible conditions. If you are confirmed by this Senate to go into that ministry, will you focus on trying to rehabilitate, to give Nigeria a better image in terms of the structures of the various embassies worldwide? After that, you can take a bow.
Thank you very much, Senate President. In this respect, distinguished senators, I would like to say that my past records speak for me. As ambassador to the Kingdom of Spain, I spent an entire year in one hotel room because when I got to Spain, the mission building was in such an appalling condition. Together with very dedicated officers, we conducted the massive renovation works, not just on the mission building itself, giving Nigeria an edifice truly deserving of a nation of its standing. The Nigerian embassy in Madrid that you see today is a product of my tenure in that country. And what was particularly sad about the previous state of the building was that it was very, very close to the Estadio Bernabeu, which is the home of Real Madrid Football Club. So it was such an eyesore that people who were going to the stadium for the various matches would pass the embassy building in its decadent state. But today, the Nigerian embassy in Spain is a magnificent building. Not only that, the residence of the ambassador was also given a facelift, and other buildings belonging to our country within that kingdom. It is true that in most missions, because of the poor funding, most ambassadors are constrained when it comes to carrying out refurbishment and renovation works. And this is quite unfortunate because a lot of the embassies are actually going through this situation. And I believe that not only does our Ministry of Foreign Affairs have to prioritize ensuring that missions abroad actually reflect the true magnitude of Nigeria's standing in the Committee of Nations. It is very, very important because this is what will give our nation the much needed respect to carry out diplomatic functions in a building that does not truly reflect the true standing of any country is very, very limiting. And this has, to a large extent, diminished our standing around the world. And I think that this is something that the government, under this president, in view of the 4 tenets of the foreign policy thrust, which is democracy, development, diaspora, and of course, looking at the fact that most of the people who have to come abroad, especially many of you from these hallowed chambers who have to come for exchanges, study tours, etc., will be hosted in those buildings. It is imperative that when you are on those exchanges and you have to meet your compatriots and you also have to meet your colleagues in the host countries, that these meetings are done in respectable surroundings. Thank you, sir.
Is it the view of the Senate that this nominee be allowed to take a bow and leave? Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. You may now take a bow. The next nominee is Right Honorable Yusuf Abdullahi Atta. Distinguished colleagues, we have before us Alhaji Right Honorable Yusuf Abdullahi Atta, nominated by Mr. President for the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development.
Audio Jungle.